Here's a really easy way that you can start creating logos and images in Midjourney AI. From the moment you jump into Midjourney, you can literally just start typing in things like, I want a logo for my coffee shop, and the color scheme should be red. So I just put in one here that says, I want a logo for my new coffee shop. The logo should be red and have a mascot. I'm gonna set the stylization to 0 so that it sticks as closely to the prompt as possible. Weirdness, we're gonna put it 0, and variety, we're gonna put to the maximum because I wanna have as many variations as possible here. I just don't want 4 images that are all the same. For image size, we'll do square, we'll put standard, we won't have any personalization, and we'll go ahead and hit enter. And immediately it's gonna start creating that image for us right off the bat. Before we jump into exactly what that logo looks like that we just generated, I do wanna give a quick shout out to our AI newsletter, Neural Frontier. Neural Frontier is an AI newsletter that we publish weekly. It has all the latest news, tips, tricks, tools, everything that you're gonna need if you're interested in this sort of AI and tech space. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. But with that being said, let's see what logos were just generated for our imaginary coffee shop. All right, as we can see here, we've got our logos, and wow, putting the variation up to 100 really did a lot for us. Very interesting, very interesting, very interesting, and very interesting. We put chaos up to 100, meaning that high values produce more unusual and unexpected results. So obviously we want to try this again, but with slightly less chaos. So in this case, we'll turn variety all the way down to 0. And go ahead and hit enter again and see what sort of results we get. It's very important to know that the aesthetics that you actually set for the image that's going to be generated drastically impacts how the image actually looks. So if you're going through this process and all the images don't look like exactly what you're hoping for, it may just mean that you need to be tweaking the stylization, weirdness, and variety. Obviously this cute little fox animal with, I don't even know what it's carrying, isn't very on brand for a coffee shop, but all these ones have cups of coffee. They just don't look exactly like what you would typically see for a logo. Since we've turned chaos all the way down, if we head back to create here, we can see that now we're getting images that match a lot more of what you would typically expect to see for a coffee shop logo. We've got this cool looking raccoon here, sipping what appears to be a coffee cup with a little flame logo on it. We've got, ooh, I think this is either a panda or some other type of bear, coffee cup underneath it, very interesting. We've got this very happy guy. Oh my goodness, look at that image. Yeah, a little too happy there. I don't think I want to set that. I feel like that would scare my customers off. And then, ooh, that looks pretty sick. I really like this image the best. And I want a few more variations of this specific one so that we can kind of refine it and narrow it down to something that would actually be tangible and usable as a coffee shop logo. So in the creation actions tool here, we can say for the variations, let's make some subtle variations here. And it's gonna take this image and make all of it more subtle. It's still going to be the same prompt, but we're adding a bit of subtlety to it and different variations based on this image alone. So if we head back over to create here, now we can see we've got some subtler variations that are all just slightly different. You can see the way the ear outline works and the actual tongue and all that. But personally, this first one, again, I like it the best. I like that we are starting to have a little bit of a logo here on that actual coffee cup. And, we can actually even just take this a step further. Take the variation for this and say, make it more subtle or creative, subtle or strong for the remix. And we could say, yeah, we're going to remix it to make it subtle. So we're going to stylize that and say it has a mascot. And we'll say, add a leaf logo to the coffee cup. Oops, it's important actually to make sure that you put the prompt before the stylized thing. And automatically we're going to submit that in. And now it's going to take that same prompt and this image as a reference, and hopefully we'll get a leaf added to a coffee cup in the variations that it creates. So if we head on back over the Create tab, and now I should note that it's going to take a little bit longer for this one than just 10 seconds or so, because now we're giving it a custom prompt. And in addition to a custom prompt, we're actually giving it an image that it has to work on. So now we can see we've got even more images generated for us. And now look at that. We've got those leaves starting to be generated for us. So, ooh, I like that one. Oh, the double leaf there. I personally really like this one. It's starting to have those subtle guidelines that I think would be really interesting. And I want to make this just a little bit more subtle. I could go to the upscale here and make it more subtle. That'd be ideal if I was going to be saving it, which you would typically expect to do for a logo. I could do a variation again to make it even more subtle. I could make a remix that's stronger, or upscale it's more creative. But in this case, we're going to do one more subtle variation just based on this, because now it actually has that leaf logo in here that I'm actually looking forward to using. All right, there we go. Even more subtle. As you can see, the line work is getting a lot less detailed here. Now, even after all these new ones have been generated, I don't really like the way they look. I still like this original one that we had here. Very subtle, the line works good, and I like how it has that red design to it. So if I'm good with this image, I can go ahead and download it here just by hovering over the download button, hitting it, and it'll automatically start downloading it. Now, obviously, I like that one, but I want to take all of these other ones that I created and put them in a folder so I don't accidentally lose them, just in case I want to come back to it later down the line. So what we're going to do is go over to the Organize tab here on the left, hit the Create Folder button, and we'll say Coffee Shop Logo. We'll hit Create Folder here, and we're not going to make it a smart folder here because I don't want images automatically added to it. And we're just going to simply left click, drag, and select all of our images here. We'll say these ones too, and we'll say More and Add to Folder, Coffee Shop Logo. Now, later down the line, if I want to go ahead and actually make some more prompts that are different, I'll always be able to come back to this by simply filtering by the coffee shop logo, and there we go. As you can see here, I've got that with some other images, and I generally tend to do this for every type of prompt that I'll actually create, just so that one session of prompting and image generation is stored together nicely, neatly, and it's just organized. And there we go, an image generated using Midjourney AI that I can use as a logo for my fictitious coffee shop. Now, let me know down in the comments below if you thought this was the right pick. I personally like this one the best, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use Midjourney AI, and you can actually create a logo for your business now. Who knows? Maybe it might even be a coffee shop. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Josh Mountain, and I'll see you in the next one.